Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventures, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ and search my bounty of comics, graphic novels, action figures, collectibles, and all things in between. First things first, time to talk about what stood out from last week's pull list. And the Riddler one-shot story, it was good. Maybe not great, but I really enjoyed it. It kind of had to deal with when Lex takes over in this Year of the Villain. He didn't really think much of the Riddler, and he kind of point blank addresses the biggest criticism about the Riddler is he allows himself to essentially have an out to get caught because he wants to prove how smart he is, and that's why Lex didn't give him anything. And it's very interesting. It has a nice little King Tut for the old school Batman fans out there. You know, he teams up for a mission to get Batman with King Tut, and it's a fun story, but also kind of divulges into that, you know, with Nigma looking into himself and seeing, you know, maybe that flaw that a lot of us comic fans have had with him is real. You know, he kind of notices that flaw, and so it was a good story in that sense. Event Leviathan was all right. Really enjoying where the mystery's going. Really enjoying the story so far. This has been his best work at DC thus far, but I was praising Age of Ultron, the not the movie, the miniseries, and yeah, just it ended up falling off. So I really hope the same thing does not happen with Event Leviathan. And finally, Detective Comics. It was awesome. A rare happy ending, and you get to kind of actually see Bruce feel happy. Maybe not totally happy, but just kind of he's smiling and he's happy to help people, and it's a good feeling. But then they do one more Mr. Freeze tease where you think, okay, there's this happy feeling, and there's something good and something that, you know, even Batman was smiling at, but then we see where it looks like they may be going Mr. Freeze, and then you immediately get concerned, and that may be the last smile we see in the Batman world for quite some time. But yeah, those are my top three from last week's bounty. I will see you guys when I return here to the homestead with this week's bounty. Hey everyone, I am back here at the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ. Got quite the bounty this week, so let's jump right into it. Starting off, we have Dead Man Logan number 11, the penultimate issue of this great series. Everything's getting tied up. It's been a great run, and you know, you've heard me gush about it. Starting to get more real to me that this series is ending, and yeah, just you know, old man Logan has gotten revenge on Mysterio. He's tied up several loose ends from the original story that Mark Millar wrote, going into some of the loose ends that were created when he was transported to the main universe. Yeah, it's been a real great book, and 2 more issues left. Gonna be hard to see this one go. Dead Man Logan, number 11. And we also have House of X, number 5. I'm reading it because I have to. There's been a few not terrible issues, but to me it's still been kind of just hard to follow. And it's still been hard to follow. It's been hard for me to get into. You know, just I'm not going to just browbeat it, but it's been hard for me to follow and hard for me to get into. And I don't like that in a comic book. But at the end of the day, I need to have this so I know what is going on with X-Men. So, you know, I hate that, but they're getting essentially $5 a week from me, so I guess I'm the loser here. House of X, number 5. Going to the world of DC, we have Flash Forward, number 1. I was intrigued by this story. It says it's spinning out of Heroes in Crisis, which, don't get me wrong, I hate Heroes in Crisis. But since it has to do with Wally, and with Heroes in Crisis, they kind of dropped the ball on Wally. Wally West, I'm talking about. I'm wondering if maybe this will be how they kind of make good on that garbage. If it's not, then DC also took me for a ride for 6 issues. If it is, or if it's at least a better way of doing things than how Heroes in Crisis did it, then, you know, I could live with it. So I was intrigued. I picked up the first issue. If it doesn't really wow me, this may be the only issue that I buy of this miniseries. If it does, and it hooks me, well, we'll just go from there. But, yeah. Flash forward. #1. And from there we have Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, #3. The 12-issue series from Matt Fraction. I love Matt Fraction. I've enjoyed what he's done with this book, and it's a very, very weird-looking cover, so I'm really just kind of taken aback by the cover. Matt Fraction does a good job of just putting normal people in heroic situations. That's one of the reasons why his Hawkeye run was so amazing. This isn't on the Hawkeye level, but it's still in sort of the same vein as Hawkeye, so that's why I've dug about it so far. Has it attained the heights of his other series? So far, no. But Hawkeye is also, in my opinion, one of the greatest runs by a writer on a character ever. It made Hawkeye one of my favorite Marvel characters. So, if I try to just take into consideration that, you know, it's hard to achieve something that great twice, I've still enjoyed this series thus far. And, like I said, Fraction does a really, really good job. I think the strongest part about him as a writer is he's able to take a person in a normal setting and force them to be heroic. That's how Hawkeye was, and that's still to a point what Jimmy Olsen is right now. So, because of that, I still enjoy the book. Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, #3. And from there we go to Batman #79. Yep, where Batman and Catwoman are still very, very romantic with each other. Whether or not this is going to be canon or fix the fuck up that happened over the summer, I don't know. Or last summer, as I should say. I don't know. But it's maybe Tom King is going to do a make good. Maybe there's something else to be told with this. I don't know. So far, the City of Bane has been okay. I'm not as up in arms as everybody is so far because I feel like it's going to get... I feel like a lot of this Year of the Villain stuff is, as good as it is going to get retconned somehow. So, yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. See what happens with Batman and Catwoman, and see if the thing that made Tom King public enemy #1 and unfairly get some very, very personal shots that were not right taken at him, even though I expressed my displeasure with the writing. See if this was the plan all along and we get something out of it, or if we're just in for another plot device. Batman #79. And from there we go to Nightwing #64. Yep. It's... The last issues weren't terrible, but I'm still not really digging what they're doing, you know. Again, as much as, to show I'm not a hypocrite, I mean, I complain about Marvel doing cash grabs. This is a cash grab from DC to me, because since I'm not digging this, but I feel like eventually things will go back to normal, I'm going to need this. And I feel the way he's telling the story, maybe it's just bait and switching, or maybe it's me being one of those kind of fans and looking for something that isn't there. I feel like what I'm looking for is going to return full form sooner rather than later. But who knows? Who knows? It's Dan Jurgens. He's all over the place when he writes. Nightwing #64. From there we go to Superman #15, and this is going to really... They started teasing the Legion at the end of the last Superman, the Legion of Superheroes at the end of the last Superman issue. Now they're going to really start focusing on them, going into Bendis's Legion of Superheroes ongoing series that he'll be writing. So, kind of... I've always enjoyed the Legion, but it's never really been like my A-list kind of thing. So if they really grip me in with this issue, I might give Legion a shot, Legion of Superheroes a shot. If it doesn't, well, then it is what it is. But I feel like introducing these characters in Superman, because Superman is so, closely associated, hell, was even a member in the Silver Age at one point. Since he's so closely associated with the Legion of Superheroes, introducing them in a Superman book is a good way to maybe kind of grip the reader in to want to take a chance on possibly the next title. So, yeah, if I'm intrigued, I'll give it a shot. We'll find out. Superman number 15. And to round out the bounty this week, we have Justice League number 32. Guest story, Kamandi, the last boy on Earth. The Justice League have gone in every direction of time. Barry and John Stewart are with the Legion, and Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman are with Kamandi. I'm interested to see what, with these kind of... with all the different members of the League meeting these different eras and different people that they have, from DC lore. I like that idea. I like the Legion, or the Justice Society, and Flash and Green Lantern. So I like that. Hopefully this one with the kind of the big three with Kamandi be maybe another fun issue, and keep this Year of the Villain story going, and continue it being an entertaining story. I have faith in Scott Snyder to tell an entertaining story, and I have faith in his what he knows about the lore. Like I said in the past, it takes more than just respect for the lore to tell good stories. But Snyder has used his respect for the lore to tell good stories. So that's why I have more faith in him than other writers to really guide this well. So, yeah. Justice League number 32. And that is it for me this week. Let me know what you picked up at your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, give it a share, subscribe for more content, not just from the world of comic books, from the world of pro wrestling, anime, gaming, and all things geek culture. Go like my Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89 for more content. There you'll find every Thursday my Collection Comic of the Week blog that is exclusive to my Facebook page. But on that, I'm out. Y'all be cool. Later.